So, spoilers for Elbaf, but is Loki Spiral the Dragon? I mean, from the video game Spiral the Dragon. Because in chapter 1174, it was revealed that Loki can become a dragon thanks to a Zoan-type devil fruit of some sort. We don't know the name of this devil fruit, but it most likely is a dragon-type devil fruit with the model of the Nidhogg attached to it. With that being said, people were on to this very early. We've made a whole bunch of videos about Loki being a dragon, but there's one thing that people clocked early that I never really looked into, and this really does start to fit the theme of things I've been talking about. So in chapter 1128, we have a color spread that seems to be vaguely Harry Potter themed, in which the Straw Hats are on various brooms, dressed in some sort of school uniform garb, and there's a giant purple dragon in the background. Seeing as how the manga is usually in black and white, we don't know what color Loki is as a dragon, so he could be purple like the dragon in this color spread. This does make sense too, because we have had some color reveals for Loki in the manga. It appears as though his hair is purple and he does wear a purple cape. So him becoming a purple dragon would make a lot of sense, making him very much like the dragon in this color spread. However, what's also quite interesting about this dragon when talking about Loki is that it's continuing the very odd theme of all of these Western dragons having their tongues hanging out of their mouths. Because Loki, when he first shows up as a ancient giant in his normal state, his tongue is hanging out. However, when he becomes a dragon in chapter 1174, his tongue is hanging out. This is the same case for when the Nidhogg, a nightmare creature, appears. His tongue is hanging out. And dragon number 13, way back in Punk Hazard, has his tongue hanging out. However, when discussing dragon number 13, something very interesting has come up recently. So, in episode 1152, which is the anime adaptation of chapter 1120, we see Vegapunk talking to Clover. Sitting next to him is a dragon. That dragon now is revealed to be dragon number 13 because the dragon is red. There is a small discrepancy, however, which is going to include the dragon that appears in the color spread of chapter 1128, because in the manga, this dragon has ears, which is way different from the anime adaptation that shows the same dragon, and it doesn't have ears because, of course, dragon number 13 does not have ears. This is interesting because there aren't any eared dragons in the manga so far other than the purple dragon that we see in this color spread. However, the interesting part about all of this is that I do think dragons with ears do exist in the One Piece world, because when you look at the Jolly Roger for the Revolutionary Army, that dragon is depicted with ears. Therefore, there has to be some sort of breed of dragon with ears. I do think Monkey D. Dragon himself can become such a dragon, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'm really wondering how the taxonomy of dragons are going to go when we start to get down to the nitty gritty of what dragons are in One Piece. Now, in talking about taxonomy, I do wonder how Loki's fruit is going to be named, because I've been thinking about this, and seeing as how dragons come in so many colors, because we've seen green, red, and black so far looking at the dragon from Monsters, I wonder, are the colors going to be associated with the devil fruit name? This is a little different than Kaido's, because I know Kaido's fruit includes the color of the dragon that he is, but of course Kaido's fruit is a fish fruit, it's not a dragon fruit, and Loki quite clearly is a dragon. And to clear things up, when I say dragon, I mean a creature with 4 legs and 2 wings. Kaido does not have wings. Kaido technically is a draconic creature called a drake. All the dragon fruits that are dinosaurs are mostly drakes, except for King, who is a wyvern. Loki, however, is a dragon. Number 13 is a dragon, and number 21 is a dragon. And of course, the black dragon from Monsters is a dragon. So I'm wondering, when it comes to taxonomy, are we going to start including the colors of the dragon in the names of these fruits? Because seeing as how Loki is a proper dragon, is the fruit going to be called the dragon fruit mythical model purple dragon Nidhogg, or is it just going to be called the Nidhogg? That's something to really think about. And I wonder, in the whole taxonomy of dragons period, do colors matter? Because it's so weird that we've seen so many colors now. Even when you consider the color of the dragon in this color spread, with him being purple, does that matter? Because that's quite strange. And that's technically new because we haven't seen a purple dragon in the franchise at that point. So I wonder, with this being a thing now, do colors matter? Do colors indicate hierarchy? Do colors indicate danger? What do colors mean, if they mean anything at all? For example, when you're talking about the only natural dragon other than Loki in the series, which would be the dragon from Monsters, is that an important dragon because that dragon is black? Does that mean anything at all? You know, there's a lot of things to think about when talking about dragons, seeing as how Oda seems to be very careful in their depiction and very careful with their importance throughout the series. So it makes you think, how deep is this actually going to go? But with that being said, if you're liking the video so far, hit the like button. And if you want to see more of this type of content, I do post every day. So I would appreciate a subscription and a click of that bell so you never miss a Paula P Works video. On top of that, please click the hype button because it does help somehow. With that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Paula P Works.